therapist friend, Dr. Jonathan Carroll, is back with another good word on cognitive distortions. In other words, don't believe everything you think. Is that what we're talking about, Jonathan?
That's exactly right, Angie. Good morning.
Well, let's talk about that because we all do have our inner critics and we all do get involved in thinking that I'd call stinking thinking sometimes. So why do we do it and what can we do about it?
Well, this is one of the most life-changing things that I get to talk about with people, including think about myself, and that is that the thoughts we think are not always true, and they're certainly not always helpful. We walk around with a mental narrator, kind of an annoying roommate that interprets and judges and criticizes and reacts to things, but that voice isn't necessarily wise because often it's conditioned by fear and trauma and habits and old stories. When you think about it, if a friend talked to you the way your inner critic talks to you, I don't think you would hang out with them.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, I've certainly done that to myself. All right, so we all know we do it. Are there things that trigger it, or is it just sort of this ongoing monologue with this aggravating narrator?
I think it could be both. I think a large part of it has to do with our conditioning, some maybe unmet childhood developmental needs or some trauma or other bad experiences. We're talking about cognitive distortions, which is mental traps or tricks that our minds play that distort what is real. There are a couple of common ones, things like catastrophizing. We've done it. We know people who do it. If I mess this up, I'll lose everything. Or maybe some all or nothing thinking. If I don't do this perfectly, I failed. I'll never amount to anything. Or some mind reading. He didn't text me back. He must be angry with me. These distortions happen all the time, and they're not harmless. They shape our moods, our relationships, even our decisions, and over time they can make us feel small, make our lives feel smaller, scarier, or more hopeless.
Well, when we're sitting in the room opposite you having these conversations, what are your recommendations for all of us? I mean, since most everybody is a victim to this in some way or other, what steps can we take for our own benefit, Jonathan?
So first of all, I would rather us not argue with our thoughts, but rather examine them. Welcome them as if we would a friend or at least an acquaintance. Come to the table, ask it questions, get to know it. This is where psychology and philosophy become very helpful for us. Socrates said the unexamined life isn't worth living. Today we say the unexamined thought isn't worth believing. So ask yourself, is this thought actually true? Where's the evidence for it? What is that evidence? For it or against it? Whose voice is this really? Mine or someone else's that I've internalized? And if it's mine, which version of me? Some past version of me, or is this me present here and now? And if I didn't believe this thought, how would I feel right now? This kind of inquiry helps us create space between us and our thoughts. And that space is where our freedom lies.
Jonathan, I think it's important to talk to someone who's safe. Maybe if you can't get yourself there yet, to find someone like you or a trusted friend to have this conversation with.
Absolutely, because we get so lost in our own thinking. And when we do that long enough, we start to believe that that voice, which is the only voice we're really hearing, is the only one worth listening to. So we start to believe these distortions, and then that shapes how we feel. So then how we feel shapes everything that we see. So everything that we see looks like how we feel, and all of a sudden we're in a maelstrom of some pretty unfortunate thinking. All it takes is one person whom we can trust, who can help reflect back like a mirror the actual truth to us until we learn how to do that ourselves, and we can begin to trust what we think again.
Jonathan, this is such an important topic. Thank you so much for weighing in.
Thank you, Angie, for having me. Take care.
You too. And we'll be back with more Lifestyles right after this. Stay with us.